Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am Dr. Arati PS, Professor and HOD in the Department of Panchakarma from Shantagiri Ayurveda Medical College. I had my graduation in Ayurveda from Government Ayurveda College, Mysore, and later I had my post-graduation in Kaya Chikitsa from Government Ayurveda College, Tirunanthapuram. See, I consider myself very fortunate for God gave me this opportunity to study Ayurveda, to teach Ayurveda, and to give some solace to the patients around me through Ayurveda. And I wish that each and every student of Ayurveda should have this passion and the right aptitude for understanding Ayurveda. One can understand that this new era, it is seeing lot of changes in every field as well as in the health field, and the coming years are going to see the Ayurveda reaching its higher scales. So, young doctors, it is your responsibility to equip yourself with thorough knowledge of Ayurveda, both the theory part as well as the practical part. Ayurveda is a pure science with all the features and has been developed on a very firm background of concepts like Panchamahabhuta theory, Tridosha Siddhanta, Karyakarana Siddhanta. Each and every concept has been debated and postulated by various Rishi Parampara. See, it was never a blind belief. Our Guru Shishya Parampara, it gives ample chances for debating. Shishyas used to ask questions and there were different opinions, and finally Guru used to give the right kind of answer, and it was documented too. If it was not documented today, it would not have been possible for all of us to learn Ayurveda. So, as a student of Ayurveda, I think everyone should try to understand Ayurveda in its real sense. I do not think that you just believe the Shastra blindly. Ask the question, find out the answer, try to relate it to the nature. Of course, there are few things which are not very relevant to the current era, because the Shastra was debated long back, and causes for some of the diseases and the diagnostic tools for some of the diseases were all right for that era, and Acharya never says that you have to use it as such. He has given us pramanas. Our pramanas are the greatest tools for knowledge, whether it be pratyaksha pramana, anumana pramana, yukti or upamana. One needs to understand the facts based upon these pramanas, and one need not just think that everything which is pratyaksha, that only to be believed. If you see around you, the whole world, the things which you can visualize are little. There are so many things which you need to understand by anumana and yukti pramana. Our acharyas have given us various pramanas to understand the Shastra. Let it be pratyaksha pramana, anumana pramana, yukti. Once you see around you, there are very few things in this world which can be understood by pratyaksha pramana, and there are so many things which you need to understand by anumana or yukti pramana. Once this truth is understood, then it is very easy to understand Ayurveda Shastra and to diagnose or treat a condition. For example, think about the Loka Purusha Samya, that is, whatever is available in our world around us, the similar things are available in the body also. This is the Loka Purusha Samya. And just linked to the idea where Acharyas tell that our ahara should be Shad Rasas. You need to take all the rasas in your ahara. But we know very clear that we are not taking each and every rasa in equal proportion. It is always Madhura Rasa Pradhana. That is because we need to have more of Prithvi and Mahabhuta components in our ahara, because it is how the world and how the body is made up of. See, Lokapurusha Samya, that is a very beautiful concept wherein we can relate our body to the surroundings around us. When Acharyas advise we to take aharas which are Shadrasa Pradhana, there too it is mainly Madhura Rasa Pradhana, because Madhura Rasa gives us the apt combinations or nutrients for Prithvi and Up Mahabhuta. That is how the body is made up of, that is how the world around us. It is mainly Snigdha Pradhana. And when the diseases become very advanced in the body, or whether it is a Vardhakya Avastha, this Snigdha Prabhava or Snigdha component will slowly reduce, which will lead to increase in the Rukshata in the body. And this concept, once we understand, it is very easy for the doctor or with the physician to guide our patients regarding the choices which you have to make in your diet. I would like to give one example of Prameha Chikitsa. See, Prameha Chikitsa, the Apya Bhava is being deteriorated in the body. So, once the condition becomes very advanced, the Apya Bhava is drastically reduced. And it is seen that patients usually they try to avoid Madhura Rasa Pradhana aharas, but at the same time they may not bother to reduce the other rasas like Lavana Rasa, Amla Rasa, Katu Rasa or Ushna Pradhana aharas. And this, I understand, that poses a great threat to our general health as a whole, and it also will lead to lot of complications in the body, because Madhura Bhava is already less and there is no reduction in the intake of Katu Rasa or Ushna Pradhana aharas. So, once you understand that how the body is made up of, or the Prithvi and Up Mahabhuta is very pradhana in the body, and based upon that we will be able to advise our Prameha patients that you need to have a balanced diet, and when you reduce the Madhura Rasa aharas, it is equally important to reduce other components having Katu Rasa Pradhana or Tikta Rasa Pradhana aharas. If this is not done, then it is sure that the Vata Pradhana will happen very fast, very quicker, and it will lead to a lot of complications. And students of Ayurveda will have usually a common doubt that all said is okay, but how actually we need to understand in depth. And of course, I no need to emphasize that the knowledge of Sanskrit is very important. Those who have come from schools after learning chemistry, physics, biology, one need not think that there is no physics, there is no chemistry, there is no biology in Ayurveda. Everything is there, but the language is something different. So, a thorough basis of Sanskrit with real efforts to understand the Ayurveda Shastra will definitely pave ways for the proper understanding the science in depth. I will give an example of understanding the different avasthas of Agni. We know that there is Vishamagni, there is Mandagni, there is Tikshnagni. How to understand this? It is very simple. If you imagine that a food is being cooked on a fire, and if there is a lot of wind coming from everywhere, the fire is not available for the cooking of the food. It becomes Vishama. The fire is not uniform, it becomes Vishama, and it can disturb the cooking of the food. And if due to some reason the fluid spills over this fire, then also the fire is not available properly for the cooking of food. That can be related to the Mandagni, whereas the first instance it can be related to the Vishamagni. If the fire which you are providing, it is over or in the excess than what you are provided there, if it is more than the water content, if it is more than the solid part, then it can act as Tikshnagni. So, If these types of simple exams which you can get from observing our nature will be very useful to understand the Shastra. And it is funny, see that people nowadays, they understand that drinking lot of water is very good for the health. But as an Ayurveda Vaidya or Ayurveda student, you can immediately understand that drinking water in excess quantity can disturb the Agni. And some people tell that if it is Ushna Jala, what is the problem? It is a problem because Ushna Jala, in spite of having Ushnata, that is the Drava Gunatva which acts upon, and that Dravatva can extinguish the fire. So, it is very simple to understand that drinking water in an excessive quantity, it can disturb the Agni and it can lead to lot of diseases. So, this is how a Ayurveda student or Ayurveda doctor, we can relate our body to the things or the happenings around us, and it will be very easy to understand the Shastra. And the usual question either from the public or a young Ayurveda graduate is that what we can do to increase the speed in which our Ayurveda medicines will work out, because that is the usual complaint from some group of public, that the allopathic drugs are very fast, whereas Ayurveda drugs are not acting very fastly. But here a truth has to be understood, that it is not important that how fast you are getting the relief. It is very important to what extent and in what way you are getting the relief. Very beautifully our Acharyas has explained that how you can assess that a disease has been reduced or a disease has been cured. Karyam, Dhatu, Samyam, and once if you have to understood whether the Dhatu Samya has happened in the body, you should know some of the criteria which will help us to understand whether a disease has been cured or not. See, there are so many lakshanas to understand whether a disease is cured or not, and absence of symptom or Ruja Upashamanam or Ruk Upashamanam, it is only one of the criteria. There are so many criteria. Apart from getting the reduction in the symptom, the patient needs to have very good appetite and his general well-beingness should improve. He should get proper sleep, he should get proper elimination, and his strength as a whole should increase. Only then you can tell that his disease is cured. Otherwise, there is only absence of symptom, and I repeat again that absence of symptom does not mean that disease is cured. So, when you tell that if you are taking an analgesic of allopathy or if you are taking some medicines from allopathy side, if the symptom is not there, it does not mean that disease is cured. If a patient has got jwara or fever, if the santapa or the raise of temperature is absent, it does not mean that this patient is free from jwara. There are so many other lakshanas which you need to give due consideration, and only when all these lakshanas become absent, you can tell that the medicine has acted and the person has become free from the disease. So, this is the beauty of the science, and it is not a weakness. One should not understand or take that the slow action or the way how the medicine acts, it is not the weakness of the science, it is the fact, it is how it has to be. So, if you see the world around us, again I am asking you to relate the body to the nature. A raw mango, to become a ripe mango, necessarily needs some days or some months. And if you try to ripe it using some artificial chemicals, then you know what will happen if you take that ripe mango. So, when nature has got all this principle, how we can go against the nature? We also need to wait. We also need to wait for this parinama. A amavastha will take certainly few days to become pachamana, and then it will take again few days to become pakvavastha. All these are inevitable time factors in order to get the result. So, I think if a student of Ayurveda or a fresh graduate of Ayurveda can understand that should not go against the nature, because going against the nature will disturb the whole process and the outcome will be very much devastating. So, I wish that everyone, all of us, let us understand the science in its true sense and try to understand more and more, because I am not using the word that in depth, because it is very difficult to reach in depth as far as Ayurveda science is concerned. There are many things to evolve in the coming days. As I told earlier, there are very few things in the current Shastra which may not be relevant to the current era, but there are so many things need to be added and need to be understood, need to be developed. Let us all take a unique or very united effort to make these changes and to take that or to see that this science reaches to its highest glory. Thank you.